Hello there. This is going to be a daily tarot read for January 12th, 2021. There will be a timestamp down below in the description box for you that you can click on to go straight to the beginning of the reading. Otherwise, you can hang out with me in this beginning part. Hope you guys are well. We'll see what comes out for tomorrow, the 12th of January, 2021. Uh-oh, some of these are upside down. Okay. All right, it was just that one card. So here we go. I'm going to do 6 original cards and then probably clarifiers on top of that. And of course, this reading may or may not resonate for you. There might be parts that do and other parts that don't. That's up to you to take what applies and leave the rest if it applies at all. And this reading is not sign related, so anyone can watch this reading. And we'll see what comes out for January 12th, 2021. And if you're curious about what decks I'm using, I'll put the names of those down below too. Okay, 2 more. Let's see. Do these. All right. Oh, interesting. Okay, I'm going to pick a clarifier to go with your top card, and then I'll get started. What are you coming to the edge of? Okay, one more. Okay. Your theme of the day card, or central card for the 12th of January, you have come to the edge. You also, with that, have Major Arcana, the Tower. 3 Major Arcanas in a row, so this is a very big deal. You have the Lovers and the Star. So what I'm seeing here is that if I interpreted this as a personal thing, I would say that you have come to the edge of a decision, a deciding point for a major relationship on whether or not a relationship survives or continues. Or balance. It's like, and also in the outer world, things have come to a point where there has to be massive change and upheaval in order to create balance and a newer, better understanding of things or functioning so that we can move forward into the future with hope and positivity. But this can also relate to a relationship because the Lovers is in here, where you have come to the edge with a relationship where the relationship might be temporarily threatened or has to change because the old way of functioning in the relationship is no longer viable anymore or doable. And so if you are going to stay together, then you need to come up with, it's a game-changing sequence here where things have to change. It seems like possibly a relationship is over, but that may not be the case. And this could do with balancing yourself, centering yourself, and understanding things better because of that. Where an old way of thinking, because the Lovers is ruled by Gemini, which is the mind, and the 2 sides of the brain, and the midpoint between the 2, which is the pineal gland. Balance. So if things have been unbalanced in the past, that is now reaching a critical point where it needs to change. And if it does not, if you don't work with it to have it change in the best possible way, then certain things might crash. But it seems as though ultimately you receive a balanced way of seeing things and you're able to move on in a peaceful, positive way. So then you have the 8 of Water. You're definitely moving away from difficulty, conflict, or just an old cycle. It doesn't even have to be a difficult cycle that you're leaving. It could be you're just moving away from an old cycle and moving on to a new cycle. You're in transition. You're in the process of moving from one state to a different state. Whether it's a state of mind, a state of being, an actual physical state, as in you are physically moving, or traveling possibly temporarily to get away from an old experience and see things in a different way. So you're looking towards the future. You're still in the middle of the process of this. This can also be moving on from a way of seeing things or understanding things into a new way of understanding things that opens up more potentials for the future. So let's get more on that. What are you moving away from and what are you moving towards? Looks like this person is moving towards all these different cards. So maybe I'll pick one on what this person is leaving behind. Interesting. Possibly leaving an old situation for a new situation, or leaving an old way for a new way of relating with others, or leaving a old relationship for a new relationship or new potentials. Or like I said before, it may not be that you're moving away from a difficult situation, it's just a natural progression of things where the old is becoming the new. Okay. So I'm going to break the mold and do something different. I'm going to show you what this person is swimming towards. This person in the picture is swimming towards the Knight of Cups, deciding to follow your heart, deciding to pursue adventures, possibly a new attraction or a new love or a new kindred spirit or soulmate that is entering your world or that you're moving towards, with the Four of Cups. So contemplation, taking it easy, thinking about things before you make a decision, looking at balancing yourself emotionally so that you can stay balanced through this whole, it looks like an adventure that you're entering. Let's see what it says on it. It says, the writing is so small. It says bitterness on it. And in the picture, it looks like a man who's being cussed out by a couple of women. I don't know if you can see that. To me, it looks like those two women are cussing that man out. And on the top, it says bitterness. And then you have the letter. And then you have the eye. The eye, when near, denotes great interest taken by friends. When distant, it signifies suspicion. I'm just going to throw a bunch of things out because that's what I'm getting. This may or may not resonate for you because it's very specific. I'm getting one message is that you might be suspicious of a past lover or a situation in a relationship which is awakening things like jealousy, competition, or bitterness, which may or may not be happening to the degree that you think it is, or flip it if the other way resonates. It may be that you need to take time out from a previous relationship so that you can get more clarity on what's actually happening or how you actually feel about it. Another message in here is you may be involved with someone else who is being overly suspicious of you, or may send you a strange text or a strange email or a strange message that indicates to you that they're being suspicious of you and are potentially holding some disappointments or resentments that they have to themselves without opening up about it. But then you hear about it. Another message is that if this has nothing to do with relationships, if this had to do with balancing yourself, I would say you're coming away from a period of happiness with love, or with expressing yourself fully from the heart. You still want to continue with that process, but there's some little strange things in here that need to be resolved with or dealt with before you can continue on with your path, or while you continue on. There may be some upsets with how people are getting along around you, and there may be a need to communicate, or someone around may be overly critical or suspicious of a situation, or overly nosy, honestly. So it says the eye when near denotes great interest taken by friends. This could be somebody that you think of as a friend that's interested in you romantically and is looking at your social media, looking overly interested in how they behave. They may not be, you might eventually hear from them that they're interested, or they may send you an invitation of sorts finally, but it's like you don't know them well, or they don't know you well. What's making them so suspicious? That's almost a red flag right there. This may be connected to some kind of karma here, where you need to be very clear and strong about your boundaries and how you will or will not be treated, to resolve this, or to realize that it's not for you if that's the case. Or it could be a misunderstanding. And this could be going on at work, this could be among friends, this could be with family dynamics. Of a feeling of going into a new situation with a lot of hope or a lot of positive feelings, and then there's some issues that need to be addressed. But let me look a little bit more into this. Tell me more about the Knight of Cups. Here and now. Okay. Tell me more about the Four of Cups. Now I'm intrigued. I want to know a little bit more. Okay. Yeah. Let me pick one to go with the letter, and then I'll hold them up and explain them. Okay. All right. This seems related to relationships. I'll try to read it in a different way, or in another way too, but that's the main energy that I'm getting. So let's say this person who's swimming is swimming away from the sun and the heart, which is happiness and love, all different kinds of love, but also romantic love. So I don't know. Maybe you've decided that you have been focusing so much on relationships or love that you need to experience other things, or have a well-rounded experience in your life where you are focusing more on your creativity or on staying in the here and now and wondering whether a relationship you've been involved in is really part of your path, or is really something that can be in the here and now in a good way. Because you have the Knight of Cups with here and now. So it may be that you're not leaving a relationship, you're still in one, but you're choosing to focus on other things and make your life more well-rounded. It looks like a personal experience here of needing to be in the here and now and needing to be coming from the heart, and choosing to go in a different direction with how you express yourself, or bringing a message, wanting loving communication here and now, or wanting to follow your heart now or in the here and now rather than some far off dream that you have or a far off goal. Just changing how you feel and what you're doing with the here and now. Needing to also potentially, if you would like to work on your relationship or continue it, choosing to come from the heart in the here and now is important with communication of how you actually feel. Maybe there's somebody involved in this, whether it's you or another, that has a hard time expressing their emotions. But this might be something that's changing. But that's your intentions anyway. But then it looks like there's bitterness. Something is a never-ending story. Seems like it always kind of comes back to that state because of past things that have happened, or just somebody's essential character. I'm getting in here that you guys are very, very different from each other and may not always understand where the other one is coming from. Because of that, it ends up always coming back to a place of disagreement or bitterness or a feeling that something is lacking. But I asked for more information about it, but I got deep knowing. So you know, if this reading resonates for you and if you know what this is saying, then you know, and you don't need me to tell you. This might be something that you know that you can't seem to let go of or get rid of or transcend. It's just kind of what it is. And then you have the letter with round and round and the lilies. So what I'm getting with these is that this goes around and around in your head, and you're trying to express this somehow to another person through a letter or through a message or a text or an email or something. But you're potentially overthinking it, or you want to make sure that it really states where you're actually coming from rather than being misinterpreted, or this is what someone else is doing. If you can't communicate in person, it seems like somebody here is thinking of communicating through the written word, or simply just writing a letter and then throwing it away without ever sending it. It's kind of like a mental exercise to get out how you feel or what's going on with you. And then there is, you're trying to prove your innocence, or it seems like somebody here has a partner or somebody that they're interested in or involved with that is overly suspicious of them. Simply maybe just because of how different you are, because you have the eye with co-create, which is a cheetah and a owl that is coming together with a very strange egg that they have created to co-create. So you may be extremely different from each other, and because of this, you don't always see things eye to eye, or you don't always really understand where the other person is coming from. Or someone in this may be overly suspicious of the other partner simply just because they don't really understand them, or because they're so different, it's like they have a hard time understanding what the other's intentions are because they are very different. This can also be interest taken on the part of somebody else towards you that you may not be aware of yet. If you're coming out of some kind of a relationship and you're starting a new chapter in your life where you're discovering things here and now and seeing what's out there, it seems like maybe someone is interested in you that will eventually communicate with you, but you need to be very careful about making sure you get to know this person before you really jump into any kind of a co-creating situation. So don't move too fast, and keep your options open, I guess, or just take it lightly in the beginning to make sure that you know who you're dealing with. If this did not have to do with relationships, then I would say you're creating something that has to do with relationships, whether it's something that you're writing, some piece of art that you're doing, something that you're creating in the here and now. Either that, or it has to do with outer forces of upheaval, massive change. Things have to change, and change in a very dramatic way in order to create peace or understanding, or to make a major choice to work more together on going forward. And because of that, and seeing that, you have a lot more hope. But you may be creating something that has something to do with these themes, which are coming to the edge of that. At certain times, things feel like a never-ending story, or they are less than perfect. They are not. They seem like they go around and around. But you are striving to move forward without becoming too jaded or too suspicious, where you're coming from a centered place. Okay, let me pick one bonus card as just an extra message, and then I'll let you go. Hopefully that resonated or made sense for somebody, or a few of you at least. And anything else you would like them to know. Have faith. Trust your faith in this situation. Have faith. Okay. I'll see you guys tomorrow on the 13th. Take care. I wish you all the best. Bye.